RWBY Volume 4, World of Remnant Videos, 7, Actual Episodes, 6. Well, at least this World of Remnant video's good. Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the OneManBand is back again, and welcome again to a RWBY Volume 4 analysis video. We're going to be taking a look at the newest video that has been put out to us, a World of Remnant video on the Schnee Dust Company. Now, I for one wasn't really expecting a World of Remnant video to be solely on the Schnee Dust Company, and after watching this, I can't believe I never wanted this, because this opens up so much in the lore, into the world, into the understanding of the Schnee Dust Company as a whole, and we even now understand what's going on with Weiss, what's going on with Papa Schnee, what's going on with the company itself. It just opens up so much information to us, and that's what a World of Remnant video is supposed to be all about, giving us new info. Yeah, I'm so hyped. I love this video, I really do. And so we start off the episode with Crow being, well, a little excited to talk about the Schnee Dust Company because he's got some powerful opinions on it. And to sum it up in some other words, I'm just gonna have Enrico Maxwell from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged tell it to you.
Scum-sucking, blaspheming, ignorant Protestant pig sow.
Although they're not the exact words of Crow, it's pretty accurate, don't you think? Crow describes the Schnee Dust Company as being self-entitled, monopolistic snobs. Just full-blown snobs. The hoitiest of toity, the upper crust of the upper crust, just pretty much they only care about profit, only care about themselves. Which, well, I would say, after seeing what we have seen, yes, it is true. The people who run the Schnee Dust Company are very much like that. Does that mean that all Schnees are like that? No. We have shining examples like Weiss and Winter and, well, through this video, Nicholas Schnee, but we'll get to that later. Now, these highly opinionated opinions are only Crow's. I mean, a lot of people look at the Schnee Dust Company as a very important essence of life. And, well, they really are. They're the main distributor of dust on the World of Remnant. And as we know, dust is the crystallized substance that pretty much runs the whole world. It powers cities, fuels machinery, and is a vital piece of the fight against the forces of evil and the creatures of Grimm. So we know it's used from anywhere to electricity, to fuel, to weaponry, and even weaving it into people's clothing to give them enhanced aura and semblance abilities. Now, as you all know, dust is extremely, extremely valuable, so the acquisition of dust is a very important and probably quite dangerous job. And this is where we come to the life of Nicholas Schnee. Nicholas Schnee was the son of a dust miner turned soldier. His father went off to fight during the Great War, and Nicholas himself was born just a few years after the Great War ended. He was born in the Kingdom of Mantle, and the Kingdom of Mantle, although high on the technological scale, was running out of natural resources. But where a lot of people pretty much saw desolation, Nicholas Schnee saw opportunity. He saw that there might be a way in order to help better people's lives if he goes out and helps find more dust. Now, Nicholas Schnee didn't come from Providence. He didn't come from a hoity-toity lifestyle. He was the one who founded the Schnee Dust Company. So he pretty much started from the ground and built his way up. But he didn't do this solely through business practices. He explored every aspect of life, anything to learning how to fight, working in his father's mines and studying and researching every subject he can get his hands on. So not only was he a hard worker, he was a deep lover of knowledge, and he was also good in a fight. Now, by the way it shows in the video, he seems to fight with a sword and flintlock type pistol. Now, these might be his actual weapons, so it makes you wonder, was Nicholas Schnee a huntsman? As we know, the huntsman academies were set up after the war, and he was born just after the war, so he very well might have been one of the first huntsmen candidates that graduated from the academy, and that's where he learned to fight and learned to be so good at fighting and learned so much about the world. This may also tie into the whole idea of Weiss wanting to become a huntsman in order to follow in her grandfather's footsteps, but we're going to talk about that at the very end of this video. Go into better detail is what I mean. After learning to fight, working hard in the mines, and studying and researching many different subjects, his father died eventually. And when he did, he took whatever money he had to hire whoever he could and set out to try to find another large dust deposit. And that he did. And with it, the Schnee Dust Company began to rise in power. The Schnee name stood for quality, affordability, and trust. Nicholas Schnee wanted dust to not only be a very important and very involved part of everyone's life, he wanted everyone to be able to have it. He wanted everyone to be equally protected, equally powered, and equally fueled. He only wished to distribute the bounties of the earth to help protect the world. Not only that, but due to his warrior training, he was personally able to spearhead every expedition around the world of Remnant to discover more dust foundries and dust quarries. Now, if we look on the map here, we can see that there are dust quarries everywhere. There's a lot of Schnee dust mines, and we actually see one at the very far eastern side of the world, which some of us were thinking may have been Salem's area. Now, this may be thrown out the window now due to the fact that there's a Schnee Dust Company mine right there, you know, so close. So the idea that Salem is actually located on the Dragon Continent is gaining a lot more steam, and I think that would be our best bet to assume that she's on the Dragon Continent right now. But back to Nicholas Schnee. He spearheaded and led every expedition himself in person. He didn't send anyone else. He, the head of the Schnee Dust Company, went out to make sure that these quarries and these mines would be cleared of Grimm, would be safe, and would have quality dust. Now, this earned him a lot of respect with the people, with his workers, and probably with all types of government officials. The person who leads by example is the person that people are going to like more, because you're showing that you're willing to do what you're gonna pay for them to do. Pretty much, he is not showing that he is above everyone. He's willing to go out on the front lines, do the dirty work, and get stuff done. This earns him a lot of respect in my book, and Nicholas Schnee is a paragon of virtue in my book. But of course, dust mining does create some ill side effects. So I believe, although Nicholas Schnee was a very capable and very strong and, you know, powerful individual, you know, strong of mind, strong of body, strong of soul, he probably took an early retirement and passed it on to the new and current CEO of the Schnee Dust Company. Now, I may be getting his last name incorrect, but Jacques Jewell married into the Schnee Dust Company and took the Schnee name for himself. Let it be known that my girlfriend predicted this way back when we were first talking about Papa Schnee when he first popped up in the series. So she called it, I picked up that phone because she called it, and good for you, Aaron. You called it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people did, but this just shows how much more of a slimy bastard this guy is. Now, in a business sense, Jacques taking over the company probably was the smartest idea. He is a cunning businessman. But it is said that although the Schnee Dust Company thrived, it thrived at the cost of its own soul. All the respect and the personality that Nicholas Schnee built up for the Schnee Dust Company, Jacques has almost completely destroyed it just for the fact that he wants to pull a bigger profit out of it. Jacques uses cheap labor and poor working conditions to help fuel his empire, to help cut costs and make more of a profit. Now, Jacques, he only cares about winning. He only cares about being the best, being on top, and he does this by having a pretty good public relations team. You know, they spout whatever he says, and whether it be true is up in the air. Which, you know, calls into fact that him saying that the Faunus have equal working conditions in the previous episode is total bullshit. Jacques only looks out for number one, and that's him. He doesn't properly care for his workers. He doesn't properly care for probably his own family to an extent. All he cares is if he looks good, and if he is making a profit, and if he is winning. But as I said before, not all Schnees are bad eggs, and this video ends with a shot on Weiss. Now, Weiss is indeed the future of the Schnee Dust Company, and this is where I'm going to talk about how I believe that she's trying to follow in her grandfather's footsteps. Now, back in Volume 1, when Weiss was talking about how her childhood and growing up with all the calamity with the White Fang made for a very traumatic childhood, she talked about how the White Fang had been targeting her grandfather's company. Now, she didn't refer to it as her father's company. Now, although her father did marry into the family and is now CEO of the company, she still refers it as to her grandfather's company due to the fact that he created it. He spearheaded it, and he was the one who made it as big as it is today. Jacques is just making more money. And she knew that her grandfather was not only a good businessman, but he was a hard worker, he was a smart individual, and he was a talented fighter as well. And that's why I believe that this is why Weiss wanted to go and join one of the Huntsman Academies. She wanted to follow in her grandfather's footsteps. She wanted to be like her grandfather. Her grandfather earned the trust of the world. He earned the trust of so many people by being the guy that everyone liked. I can just see Nicholas Schnee being that guy who was always a laugh, always, you know, fun to be around, but he was also smart, cunning, and very, very loyal. I'm pretty sure he was the guy who would laugh at a joke, but the moment you insult one of his friends, he's gonna throw down. Which brings me actually to the name, Nicholas Schnee. So we have Nicholas, you know, the word Nicholas, and Schnee. What do we know Schnee is? Schnee is snow in German. Nicholas, snow, Christmas time, Saint Nick, Santa Claus, Christmas? Is the possibility of Nicholas Schnee's inspiration possibly Father Christmas? Santa Claus, Saint Nick? I think the possibilities are there. Let's remember, in the video, Nicholas Schnee was always depicted with a long flowing scarf of red. And what's the chief color on jolly old Saint Nick? Red. And another thing to talk about. It's never said that Nicholas Schnee is actually gone. He isn't dead. He's still alive. In poor health, and maybe not able to run the company, but still alive. So I'm hoping, at least in future episodes, maybe in future volumes, we get to see Weiss go to her grandfather, visit her grandfather, and maybe get some advice from him. Maybe he helps her out in some way, the way that we think Winter would have helped her out with trying to escape the Schnee manor. I mean, who knows? And I mean, the possibilities of him being dead are of course there, but it wasn't stated that he was dead. So I'm hoping he's still alive. If he's dead, I'm still hoping that Weiss will maybe go to his grave, asks for some advice, maybe receive a sign, That'd be really cool. Nicholas Schnee's red scarf is actually also very reminiscent of Ruby Rose's cape. Now, this may be another reason that although Weiss and Ruby didn't get along quite well at the beginning, maybe that's why she took so much of a liking to her later on, is because she started to see sort of like her grandfather's vigor in Ruby, you know, wearing of the red, the do-good nature, the trying to do what's right, and, of course, the leading as well as she does. And the fact that Nicholas Schnee was also a businessman and led all the expeditions to new dust quarries and mines may have been another reason why Weiss wanted to be leader so much. She wanted to show and prove that she can lead a team a lot like her grandfather did while searching for these new dust sites. This video opened up so many avenues of new information, especially surrounding Weiss, which I am absolutely tickled about. I love it that they put this out, especially during this time of year, because not only did it give us a good World of Remnant video, but it also gave us a good World of Remnant video to come in to the winter break, and we can pretty much sit back for a few weeks, listen to this video over and over, get some good theories from it, and, well, just enjoy the information that was given to us. What's that? You say they're putting out a new episode. Episode 7. They teased it on their Twitter. Look. What? So episode 7 on Christmas Eve. You're freaking lying. Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, thank you for watching this World of Remnant breakdown video. I hope that you enjoyed. Feel free to like and favorite if you did, subscribe if you feel inclined to, and if you want to keep up with all the future updates and uploads that I do. And also, be sure to check out some other videos that I've done, annotations up on screen, perhaps if I can figure out how to do them again, and also down in the description. Also, some links to media pages that I'm a part of are down in the description as well. Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that. Also my Patreon page if you want to support me on Patreon. Big thanks to all my Patreon sponsors. You guys are awesome and I love you guys very, very much. Now, I guess we just have to wait for Christmas Eve and the new episode. So here's hoping it's a good one. Now, before then, I need you to be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward, and I'll see you then. Yeah,